This is the moment cloud was born. Not in a boardroom, not in a business meeting, in the mind of an engineer who asked a simple question. Imagine you are in Cape Town right now. You flew there for a meeting. Your laptop is in Pretoria. On that laptop, a presentation you need, a file your client is waiting for, a document you spent 3 days preparing. You do not need the laptop. You need the files on the laptop. The laptop is just a container. What you actually need is the content inside it. And if someone could give you access to that content from anywhere in the world, you would never need to physically travel to retrieve it. When you access files on your local laptop, you go to C colon backslash users backslash your name backslash documents. You navigate to a path, a location, a hierarchy of folders. You click the file. It opens. When you access files on cloud, you go to https colon forward slash storage.company.com documents. You navigate to a path, a location, a hierarchy of folders. You click the file, it opens. Same concept, different protocol. The C colon backslash is a local path. Your computer knows where to find that file because it is on your own hard drive. The HTTPS is a network path. Your computer finds that file by sending a request across a network, across the internet, to a server somewhere in the world that holds that file. Same concept, different protocol, different distance. And that HTTPS, that hypertext transfer protocol secure, that is what solved the distance problem. That protocol, that way of sending requests and receiving responses across a network is what makes cloud possible. It is the mechanism by which you can access a server in a data center in Cape Town from a laptop in KZN, or from a phone in Sandton, or from a tablet in London. But here is what you must never forget: cloud does not make the hardware disappear. There is still a server somewhere. There are still racks, there are still cables, there are still UPS systems and generators and cooling systems and engineers on night shift. The physical infrastructure still exists. I have seen it. I have worked in it. Cloud makes the distance between you and that hardware disappear. Not the hardware, the distance. Before cloud, you have a business idea, a genuinely good idea, a product that could change your industry. You need servers to run it. You contact a hardware supplier. You specify your requirements. They place an order. The servers are manufactured, shipped. They arrive at your location 6 weeks later if you are lucky. You rack them, you cable them, you install the operating system, you configure the network, you install your software, you test everything. Now you can start. But wait, you need to handle peak traffic. End of month when everyone is paying their bills. You need 3 times as many servers during that period. Order more servers. Wait 6 more weeks. By then, peak season is over. You overbuy hardware, so you always have enough for peak. That means 80% of the time, most of your servers are sitting idle, doing nothing, costing you money, consuming electricity, occupying space, generating heat. Only big companies could move fast. Only big companies could experiment. If you wanted to test a new product, you needed to invest in hardware before you knew if the product would succeed. Most small businesses could not afford that risk. A small engineer in a township with a brilliant idea had no path to building that idea into a product. The barrier was not intelligence. The barrier was not creativity. The barrier was hardware, physical, expensive, slow to acquire hardware. After cloud, you have a business idea at 9 in the evening on a Sunday. By 10, you have a running server. By midnight, you have a working product that real users can access. If it fails, switch it off. You paid for 3 hours of compute, nothing more. No wasted hardware, no sunken cost, no 6 week wait for something that did not work. If it succeeds, scale to 1,000 servers by morning, not 6 weeks, not 6 days, by morning. AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, they already have the hardware. You are renting capacity from their data centers. When you need more, they give you more. When you need less, you give it back. You can schedule things. Run a batch job every Sunday at 2 in the morning when traffic is low. Switch it off when it finishes. Pay for 30 minutes of compute instead of a server that runs all week. You can run experiments. Deploy a new version of your application to 5% of your users. See if it performs better. If it does, roll it out to everyone. If it does not, roll back in seconds. all without any hardware purchase, all without any travel, all without waking up anyone at 2 in the morning. Cloud did not just change technology, cloud changed who gets to participate in technology. Before cloud, you needed a company to build things. After cloud, you need an idea and a laptop. That is the revolution. So, what is cloud? Let me give you the complete answer. Everything we discussed in one place. Cloud is the solution to the original human problem. Distance kills communication, distance kills coordination, distance kills business. Engineers spent 200 years solving that problem with radio waves, with telephone cables, with fiber optics, with satellites. Cloud is the latest and most complete solution to that problem. When you access cloud, you are accessing a computer that is not in your room. It might be in a data center in Johannesburg, in Cape Town, in Ireland, in Virginia. You do not know exactly where. You do not need to know because the distance has been made irrelevant. Now, here is something that surprises most people when they first hear it. You do not even need to own the physical hardware exclusively. When you choose a server on AWS, that server might be shared with another company. A business in Durban and a business in Cape Town can be running their applications on the same physical machine at the same time. And that is perfectly fine because the isolation and the security and the separation between them is not in the hardware. It is in the architecture, it is in the software, it is in the network design, the VPC that keeps your traffic separate, the IAM policies that ensure only your identity can access your resources, the encryption keys that only you control, the security groups that define exactly who can talk to what. None of that lives in the physical server. All of that lives in the design decisions made by the engineer. The hardware is just metal. The security is in the architecture. This is one of the most important things to understand about cloud. You are not buying a physical box. You are buying a set of capabilities: compute, storage, networking, security controls. And those capabilities are delivered to you through software and architecture, not through physical ownership of a dedicated machine. If you want dedicated hardware, you can choose that. AWS calls it dedicated tenancy. But most of the time, for most workloads, shared hardware with strong architectural isolation is not just acceptable, it is the standard. It is how the entire cloud industry operates. But here is what cloud is not: cloud is not magic. Somewhere right now, there is a data center. It has servers in racks. I have seen those racks. I have maintained the power systems and the cooling and the cables. That physical infrastructure still exists. It has not disappeared. It has just been moved away from you and made accessible to you simultaneously. Cloud does not make the hardware disappear. Cloud makes the distance between you and that hardware disappear. And cloud gives you something that was previously impossible for most people: the power of a data center without owning it, without maintaining it, without procuring it, without waiting 6 weeks for it. You pay for what you use. You scale when you need to. You switch off when you are done. You experiment freely because failure costs almost nothing. You build things that would have required a large company before, now from a laptop in a township on a Sunday night. That is the revolution. And everything in cloud, every service, every tool, every concept exists to serve that revolution, to make it possible for anyone with an idea and an internet connection to build something that the world can use. The infrastructure exists. The question now is, what will you build on it? In the next lesson, we go deeper because now that you understand what cloud is and why it exists, you need to understand the roads that everything travels on: the networking layer, 6 VPCs, 72 subnets, the private roads, the public roads, the routes, the gates, the security checkpoints. Everything that your payment travels through from the moment you tap your phone to the moment your money arrives, that is coming next. See you.